Hello everyone, welcome to the Sanya Bari channel where we talk about all things relationships. Today's topic is very important. It is how to save your relationship when something really horrible has gone on. Either it's something like an infidelity or people are threatening divorce or you've just fallen apart to a degree that you just don't know how to save it. There is so much more to a relationship than the little things that we sometimes make such a big deal. So if you are truly interested, if you actually truly want to know how to save a relationship, I'm going to do this in 4 points. But what I want you to know is that the fourth point is the most important point. If you do the first 3 and you don't do it in the spirit of the fourth point, then all the first 3 are going to be empty and they're ultimately not going to work. You're going to have some success and then deeper failure. So generally speaking, when a relationship starts to break, it's because something hasn't changed for a long period of time. So there is mistrust. Somebody, for example, when we speak about trust, let's talk about the very black and white thing. Somebody's cheated on me and I don't trust that person. So the person who's betrayed has this big thing about, oh, I don't trust this other person. And that is valid. And I'm not saying that it's not. But what we have to understand is if the betrayed person wants to save the relationship, they need to understand that there is trust on both sides that needs to be reestablished. Many times when I give directions to somebody who has been betrayed or it doesn't have to be a sexual betrayal. I want you to know that a betrayal is that of when we got together, you said you're going to love me, you said you'll make me a priority, you said you'll do this, and then that's a broken agreement, that's a broken dream, a broken promise, and it really does hurt over the years. So I get it that feels like a bigger betrayal and clearer black and white betrayal, a sexual betrayal. But what you need to keep in mind is, what do you want? Constantly ask yourself that question. What do I want? And whatever you do or you don't do has to be defined by that one thing. What do you want? Not because I want to show this off to anyone, because I want to keep up appearances in front of somebody, not because I want it looks good, or because in my heart, when I look deep inside, I can't lie to myself that that's what I want. And if you're in that place, then this video is for you. And then please don't, when I say things to you, don't think that anything is difficult. Because when you are working towards something that you want from your heart, nothing is difficult. So the first thing would be to let go of control. Now, this is very hard for people, and generally speaking, the control, even if it wasn't present, will come right when there's an infidelity that's taken place, or there is a feeling that people are separating and you don't want to separate. It could be that the control was always present in some form, and now it gets really even riled up. Understand that many people think that, and I used to think that, these employments of control are some form of love, and it is not. It is not love. Control comes from a different place. It's a completely different wavelength. It is a part of our fear. It is a part of our anxiety. And the promise of the control is an illusion. And let me illustrate. Why is control an illusion? Because the promise of control is that when you get to me and when you do what I'm telling you to do, you're going to get a reward at the end. Like, you're going to feel peaceful. But just like a mirage in the desert, when you get there, you realize that it's like a gaping hole with an inexhaustible appetite, that it just wants more. It just wants more. And then you get to that and it wants more. It's almost like signing your soul to the devil. It's just never ending. So that's the one part about control. You'll say, oh well, you know what, I'm a hardworking person, I don't care, I'll just keep doing whatever control wants me to do, it just gives me pleasure to do that. You have to understand that if you are in this place in your marriage and in your life, or in your relationship, really, it doesn't have to be marriage, then you cannot expect there to be a change in what the outcome is if you don't change. You cannot, as Einstein says, you cannot resolve a situation from the same mindset that created it, same consciousness that created it. So please be open to what I'm saying. I know it just feels a little harsh when somebody's, oh, let go of control. It's like, I'm not controlling. That's the first thing people will say. Control is like an addiction, and most addicts, most of them, if you're an addict, you're likely going to say, I don't control. But be very, very careful in noticing what you are controlling. Some people are very polished. They'll control by giving examples of people. They'll control by saying, oh, so many guys hit on me when I go out, or girls hit on me, or proving to them, look how good I am. Even a very subtle form of control is overdoing for someone. If I do all this for someone, if I be just this person for you, if I do everything for you, then you'll like me. All of that, these are subtleties of control. And what I want to tell you about control, you're not really creating a real relationship. It's not an authentic relationship. You are pretending to be someone. So even if your partner loves you for the things that you're doing, it's really not you. And it's not fair, and it's not a dignified, honoring way to be. So that would be letting go of control. And in the end, I'm going to also talk about, there has to be another video that I'll have to make on it. But let go of control, and control usually comes when you are afraid. And I understand that it is a really, really hard time when you see your partner walking away from you. So definitely, I thought I was going to sneeze. So definitely, let go of control. The other thing I want to tell you is that be aware of the pursuer-distancer dynamic. And I usually call it pursuer-retreater dynamic. And I've explained this in many other videos as well. And it's literally like emotional physics, which is literally like a seesaw where you push here, this goes up, you push here, this goes up. It's just the way it works. Like you can't, if you push a seesaw on one end, the other one is going to rise. So understand that it is black and white and it never fails. So what I will tell you is that I do this thing with my hands where I say that what I need my people to do, if you're going to be the one who's going to save this relationship, is that I need them to stay in neutral. Generally, my biggest problem, because that's what I do for a living, I save marriages and relationships when people think that there is absolutely no hope. And when my biggest problem is this dynamic that I'm going to tell you about, is that the people only are interested when the other person's not. So my request is that the person who is the betrayed person, the person or any, whatever has happened to you, whether you are the betrayer or you are the one that's betrayed, anybody who wants to save a relationship, I want you to know that the likelihood is that you're going to want to chase that person. That's the same part of the control thing. But this is a dynamic I want you to watch. And they're going to be and the way this chasing works is that the more you run away from me, the more I want to chase you. But this person says, the more you chase me, the more I freak out and the more I want to run away. And then there's space created in between. And so this person says, oh my God, the more you run away, the more there's space, the more I want to chase you. Do you see how this dynamic just keeps going in a circle? And it can get vicious and sometimes even violent. There is no end to it. Generally, the person who's running away is not the one that's going to stop if you want to stop this dynamic. And the person who's going to be the one that's chasing is the one that needs to stop. Understand that a lot of these things are seen as love. It is not love. It is dependency. It is control. It is coming from a different place. The opposite of love is fear, and it's coming from fear. So what I want to tell you is, and these things, these forces, these dark forces, like in Star Wars they have the dark side. It has a bigger, greater hold because it's easier. It doesn't take a lot of consciousness to do. It is where you will slip in automatically if you're not conscious. So understand that that's like the dark side, and it also has a force, but it can be stronger than love. Dependency is stronger than love. And if you feel that what I'm saying is wrong, just consider for 1 second somebody who is addicted to alcohol, for example. I've had mothers who are addicted to alcohol, and they'll say the person that I love the most are my children in my life. I love them more than I do, but I can't even stop for them. So understand that dependency is very much like that. So I'm asking for this person, for you, if you want to save this marriage, to stay in neutral. So what will happen is that when I'm asking this person who to stop chasing, and if they haven't developed themselves, and I'm going to talk about developing yourself and making yourself whole, the only way they can stop chasing is when they get sick of chasing, or this person really rejects them in a mean way. So they come and they're like, reject and then still run away. That's when they'll stop chasing, but that is coming from another anxiety, and they go the other way. They turn the other way. My hand won't turn the whole way, but they turn the other way. And this is an anxious stance. It is just as bad as this stance. What I'm asking for is neutrality. And this is an anxious stand of running away. It's like, oh, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, run away. I don't even want you. Don't let the door hit you on your behind, those kind of things, screw you, that kind of a thing, mentality that you're running away. Even if you do that, this is what I'm going to tell you, that even if you do that, when there's space created, this person who's running away, understand that this person's nature is that when they get nervous, they like to run away. It's going to take them a minute to come back, but even when you do that, they will try to come back to you and seek you out. But unless you have done the neutrality that I'm speaking of, unless you have augmented yourself and worked on yourself to become whole and get out of your dependency, you are going to likely turn, there'll be a little bit of a honeymoon period, a little bit like posturing, and they'll turn, and then they will go like this, and they will be on them. The energy will be completely on them to the point of engulfment, like fear of engulfment. This person has fear of engulfment mostly, or that person comes to develop it, and you'll see that this person will run away farther and farther. So it's a spiral. So every time you go through this cycle, this thing that just becomes more and more vicious and faster. Like they will just have to see the indication that they are coming and this person's running away, that kind of a thing. So in order for what I'm really asking for, this is where I have the most problem. And I have that couple too, that both of them are coming with an equal request that we want to get together. But the only time this person who's running away is going to want to be with this person is if this person is out. As soon as this person turns out. Why? Because they'll change sides. Then this person will go out, and then this person will start chasing. And so the timing just becomes really, really, they miss each other. They only want the partner when they're leaving. But what I'm telling you is there is a solution to this, and the solution is staying neutral. And how do you stay neutral? You are the one who you tune in to yourself, and you be the guardian, the protector, the nurturer, the caretaker of yourself. When you are hurt, when you have triggers coming, when you have pain coming, you don't run to your girlfriends, you don't run to your guy friends, you don't run to you definitely have one or two people there for support, but you go inside and you look inside, you look in the mirror, you talk there, you write, you become the person who's going to heal yourself and be there for yourself. You develop a deep trust, a very, very deep, loving relationship with yourself that is very, very full, where you are appreciating, where you are not judging yourself, where you're not doing bad self-talk, where you are tapping into your joy. You are doing things that make you feel alive and happy. That doesn't mean that you need to definitely date 20 people. That doesn't necessarily mean that. And it doesn't mean that you are not supposed to date unless there's an agreement. There has to be an agreement. People separate and all of these things without agreement. You have to agree. Are we both dating? Otherwise, it's counted as cheating because you're still married. Another tangent. I'm going another tangent. So that's one thing, pursue a retreater. And the last thing that I want to tell you, which is, I guess it was the third thing that was really important, which was that if you do any of this, if you do any of this work, whether it's moving away or staying neutral, or even, that you're not doing but anything, if you do self-development, if you do anything, go do something that gives you joy. If maybe you like to do, I don't know, go for a walk, but if you do that, any of that good stuff, with the thought that I'm doing it so my partner comes back to me, here's the caveat that it's not going to ultimately work. You have to do it for yourself. The minute you think you're going to do it to save the relationship, you are manipulating, and you are going to suffer later because the partner may or may not come back. And if your peace, what I want to tell anybody who's saving their relationship, and I'll ask them why do you want to save your relationship? Very important to answer that question. Why do you want to save it? Oh, I want peace, I want love. If your peace is dependent on your partner being with you or not, then your peace is just as solid as your partner choosing to walk out or not. It has to be dependent on yourself. A good relationship, or a good person to have a relationship with, is a person who is a whole person within themselves. They are not looking for people to complete them, to rescue them, to heal them. They already have everything they need within themselves. They want people. They want to be with all these people, but they don't need them. The minute you need someone, without knowing it, without wanting to, you will behave needy. And that is too much pressure for any relationship, and it's not fun on the receiving end and on the doing end. So I hope this helps. The last thing I want to tell you is that my intention is to make a video on the Karpman's drama triangle, and it links to this, so please do watch it. Subscribe to my channel, leave comments. I always reply to the comments. And if you want to consult me, if you want to come on one of my YouTube complimentary sessions that I do, and I do them complimentary on purpose, because I want that time that I spend with that person helps hundreds of people. So it's totally fine for me, but I do a proper session, coaching session. Of course, I can't do therapy like that. So I do coaching sessions. So if you want that, or if you want to contact me to ask me any question, it's Sanya at sanyabari.com. And go on my website, see there's resources there as well. And I hope this helps. Love and light from my heart to yours. I can't wait to see you again soon. Thank you.